So whether fear is your friend or your foe depends upon your perspective. Let me tell you a little story to illustrate the power of perspective. Let's assume for a moment I'm standing in front of you with, in my left hand, a package of chicken that I just got from the grocery store. This package of chicken is, it's on a tray, it's covered in clear plastic, and the color of the skin of the chicken is white, okay? Now, that's in my left hand, you're right. Let's assume for a moment that in my right hand, I have a different package of chicken. Here, the skin color is yellow rather than white. So here's my question for you. Which of these is the freshest chicken? Is it the yellow skin chicken or is it the white skin chicken? If you lived in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon or Washington, and you handled chicken regularly, you cooked for your family, I can guarantee that every time you would pick the white skin chicken. Now here's the interesting thing. If you lived outside the Pacific Northwest, everywhere else, you're going to pick the yellow skin chicken. White skin, Northwest, yellow skin, everywhere else. Years ago, I was visiting my sister-in-law in Cleveland, Ohio. She had just been shopping, and she walked into the kitchen carrying a bag of groceries. She reaches inside the bag and pulls out a package of chicken. And she said to me, "Look how yellow this chicken is. It is so fresh." Her perspective was that yellow equaled fresh, in contrast with the Northwest, where white equals fresh. Now, where did this come from? Well, in the Northeast, the dominant poultry manufacturer there is a company called Perdue Farms. And it was led for years by a gentleman by the name of Frank Perdue, who once said, if you can differentiate a dead chicken, you can differentiate anything. And so Perdue Farms actually takes marigolds and puts it into their chicken feed in order to enhance the natural yellow pigment of the skin. Differentiation. Perspective. In the Pacific Northwest, the poultry processors said, you know what? We want to differentiate ourselves. We want to build some barriers of entry against the competition. And so years ago, some very smart chicken farmers said, we are going to change things here. And what they did in the processing is they increased the temperature of the water. So it became scalding hot and actually removed the natural pigments of the skin. They created differentiation. They created a market in which consumers believe in the Northwest, white skin chicken is the freshest. The power of perspective, in this case, translates into millions of dollars. When you think about fear, understand the power of how you view fear, your perspective. Is fear seen as your friend or is fear seen as your foe? I would encourage you that fear can be your friend and it doesn't need to be your foe.